Okay, section 2.2 is on factorial notation, which is going to be new to everybody, but it'll be similar to what we were doing in section 2.1. So let's just jump right into it with an example here. And this should look very similar to an example in the last section where we're sorting people in a line and just asking how many arrangements can be made from that in that line or of that line. So you should remember that when we're doing a problem like this where we're putting one person in and then when we move to the next spot we have one less person. So for these problems, as each person is sorted, we have one less person. So we'll start with our first position. We have 6 choices. Our next position then would be 5, down and then 4, so on, like that, which gives us a total of 720 possible arrangements. Okay, so many examples that we'll do involve arrangements where you multiply numbers decreasing by 1 like this. This is what we call a factorial, multiplying numbers decreasing by 1. All right, and it looks kind of like that, or exactly like that. We use an exclamation mark to denote factorial. So in this example here, 6 factorial means you start with 6 and multiply it by 5, by 4, by 3, each number decreasing by 1 down to 1. So in general, a factorial of any number, let's say n, is equal to n, whatever that number is, multiplied by n minus 1, so the next lowest number, multiplied by the next lowest number, n minus 2 times n minus 3, all the way down to 2 times 1, where you're only working with natural numbers. So no fractions, no decimals or anything like that. Each only consecutive descending natural numbers. So you should see how this is similar to your fundamental counting principle that we were working with in the last section, where we were multiplying choices A times B times C, where they were getting smaller. You should also note the special case of 0 factorial is equal to 1. So, you can kind of think of it as there is only one way to arrange 0 objects. Otherwise, it's just a special rule to keep in mind. Thankfully, factorials is generally a function that's built into most calculators. So look for maybe an x factorial button or an n factorial button, maybe a square and then factorial, or just an exclamation mark, something like that, which will let you punch in a number, hit that button, depending on how your calculator works, and it'll solve this. It'll do this 6 times 5 times 4, this thing for you, and give you the answer right away.